Is it possible to make $100,000 a year working from home with a 2-hour-a-day side hustle? My name is Kris Krohn, and today, if you're here to learn about how to make money with a super simple side hustle, then you're in the right place. More importantly, this is about preserving your time to only working a couple hours a day in exchange for enough money that you can quit your job and control your own financial future. I've been financially free for the last 15 years, and I've been living life on my terms, and today I want to show you how you can have that too. First off, why are we even having this conversation today? Many businesses and companies are dropping like flies in this government-forced recession. So many businesses have shut down, and things frankly look even worse in the stock market as a whole. What's even worse is that unemployment hasn't been this bad for nearly 100 years. Look at how many Americans currently are unemployed. People are looking for opportunities so they can take care of their families. Frankly, people everywhere want to know how they can financially rely on themselves instead of a job, instead of the government. This personally hit home for me when a close friend of mine that I met through YouTube a while back actually came into my house and told me that he was at risk for losing a 6-figure job, and he was scared, nervous, had no idea how he was going to take care of his family. This is Trent and his awesome wife. There's actually a funny picture from a couple of weeks ago after I rolled my decked out Can-Am doing donuts. Frankly, we're all smiling still because we had 4-point harnesses on and we had a blast. But that man in the middle wasn't too happy when he told me how nervous he was about even the possibility of losing his job and not knowing how he was going to take care of his family, his wife, or his kids. Because I care about my buddy and his family, I felt really motivated to solve this huge problem overnight. And I did it with this simple side hustle idea. For me, this actually turned into a fun experiment. You see, Trent still had his full-time job, and I had to figure out with just 1 or 2 hours a day how he could fully replace his income. And this is where you come in. I've got friends all over the world through YouTube and social media that follow me, that I teach financially, that are in a very similar situation. They don't have the security that they once had with the job or with their local governments, and they want to know, what do I do to financially take care of myself? Well, I'm going to show you what happened to Trent with his 30-day experiment and what has happened since with a bunch of people like you that I decided to take under my wing. In other words, if you want to know if you could make $8,000 a month or more, do or die with less than 2 hours a day, you're about to find out. By the way, as you watch this, if you want to join with me in this experiment and get help, there's a link in the description below to give you more information about what it would look like for you to figure out how to make $8,000 working only a couple hours a day for the next 30 days. So it's possible that you and I have never met. Allow me to do a really quick, brief introduction. Most people know me for being the guy on YouTube. He became financially free at 26 with a basic 6-figure residual income before I went on to do nearly $1 billion in real estate on thousands of homes. I give away all my money-making books for free. I put on lots of live events for people all over the world because I'm a financial freedom fighter. I love creating millionaires, but more importantly, people who are just basically financially free, right? They love having the options and flexibility to live life in a really big way, just like I want to live it my way. Today's video is designed to teach you the best way to make money in any market, especially during a recession or a pandemic, you name it. However, for the super lucrative side hustle to really make sense, I need to educate you on the 3 foundations of most successful businesses, as well as the top 5 secrets for picking the smartest business, which for me always means makes the most money but requires the least amount of time. For example, today I'm going to show you, just like Trent, how to make over $1,000 an hour. Now I'm going to bust through this pretty quickly, so you're definitely going to want to take notes. And at the end, I'm going to share with you the perfect hidden 6-figure business in your backyard right under your nose. And we're frankly going to find out if Trent did in fact make his $8,000 inside those 30 days. All right, if you want to understand how to make $8,000 a month, literally working from home with a couple hours a day, I've got to share with you these 3 successful foundations of business. Basically, it's marketing, selling, and fulfilling. Every business does this, but I'm going to show you the difference between companies that kill it versus most of them that are frankly just doing it wrong. Okay, let's start with marketing. Marketing basically means how many people you can put your product or service in front of. Super simple. I don't even care if you have the cure for cancer, if that's your product, because if you can't put it in front of people, it doesn't mean anything. Your business frankly won't survive. Check it out. Most businesses barely have enough leads, and that puts them in survival mode, and those businesses often die. Some businesses, on the other hand, have too many leads, and that leads them to thrive. You see, it's not about the product. It's about how many people you can get to care. how many people you can get in front of. So by the way, a perfect side hustle would have to have too many leads, right? Okay, number 2 is selling. You've got to find a way to convert those leads or those prospects into buyers. Most people fail in business because they suck at selling. Well, the secret to winning too much business is to have such a popular product that it sells itself, and frankly, you become more of an order taker. So the perfect side hustle would never let you really feel like a desperate salesperson. In fact, most of the time, you might even forget that you're selling anything at all. And number 3 is fulfillment. It's basically delivering on the promise. It's basically delivering the product or the service that they bought. This leads you and me to the answer of why the average business owner is overworked and frankly only makes $46,000 a year. They're providing the services of what they're selling, and that absorbs 90% of their time. I'm gonna show you a very different way. It's called, if you want something done right, don't do it yourself. So check it out. If you had a simple side hustle with number 1, endless leads, number 2, awesome conversions where you never really felt like you were selling anything, and 3, someone else frankly was fulfilling on the service, you would ultimately have more money and more time. And by the way, that meets my definition of financial freedom. So I know you want to know what this exact side hustle is. You know, what happens with Trent? Is this actually doable for you as well? Listen, we're almost there, but you're really going to appreciate this perfect side hustle if you understand my 5 rules for how I pick a perfect business. And here they are. I know it's coming fast, so keep up. So my 5 rules for making the most money with the least time are: number 1, you've got to have an uncommonly high profit margin. Number 2, access to endless leads. 3, a simple business that really anyone can do, like my 14-year-old daughter. Number 4, how to beware of passion plays. And number 5, how to become the owner that isn't stuck doing any of the work at all. So number 1, let's talk profit margin. Basically, when you collect money, how much do you actually get to keep? As in, I collect $1, and yet most businesses only keep a lousy dime from that dollar. Some businesses only keep a nickel, and a few businesses maybe keep 20%, like 2 dimes of every dollar that they collect. It's pathetic. This is why 86% of all business owners make less than $100,000 a year, and only 2% make over $1 million. Now, I know we've been talking about making over $100,000 a year, but at the end, I'm gonna reveal whether this side hustle actually has 7-figure potential. So rule number 1, when picking the perfect business, you need to have a way bigger than average margin. It provides safety, and in fact, this side hustle can easily get you earning $500 an hour or even well over $1,000 an hour like you're about to see. By the way, what happens when you actually make $500 an hour or $1,000 an hour? Well, frankly, it changes everything. It changes your whole lifestyle. I became financially free 15 years ago with that kind of earning power, and frankly, it's allowed me to live in unbelievably huge, beautiful custom homes, travel to over 40 different countries with my family, and frankly, be the kind of father that I want to be for my wife, for my kids, the life that we've dreamed about. I feel super blessed, and even more so, I'm excited to hand that possibility off to you as well in the next couple of minutes. All right, when picking a business, secret number 2, it has to have access to endless leads, which is why I throw away 90% of the business opportunities available in the world. In every Star Wars movie, someone has to say, "It's a trap." And that's the way I feel about most businesses. If you don't have an endless supply of leads to do as much business as you want, I'm out. All right, my 3rd rule for picking a perfect side hustle, it's gotta be simple enough that frankly, anybody can do it. Did you know that half of all businesses fail in their first 5 years and up to 70% fail by the 10th year? Complexity is the number 1 killer business. My mentor, Tony Robbins, actually explained it to me. He said, complexity is the enemy of execution. Basically, the simpler the business, the faster you can get to profits, which should be measured in days and weeks. Most businesses try to pay themselves off in 5 years. It's a horrible standard. Now I get it. For some of you, this starts sounding a little bit like get rich quick kind of attitude, and you would be right. Not because I want you not to work for it, but because I'm showing you how to work smarter instead of harder. All right, rule number 4, beware of passion, right? Most business owners are like artists who fall in love with their product. Don't do that. It's wrong. You're supposed to fall in love with your customer. Passion can screw you up and get you married to your business. I would rather work a fraction of the time, make a pile of money, and have the freedom to do my passion for fun and not for work. And my 5th and final rule is to be a true business owner, not an operator. Here's what I mean. When you're stuck in a business with a small profit margin, you have to literally take a job to make sure that there's enough money to go around. You're probably the worst paid employee on your entire team. But if you have an awesome profit margin like we talked about, you can become an owner that has enough money to hire out the work. I call this outsourcing. You literally reclaim 90% of your time by hiring others to do the work. Seems common sense, but most people don't get it and most don't do it. Check it out. You now understand my 3 foundations for successful business, and you also know my 5 rules for how I pick the right business and why most businesses would never be attractive to me. I have literally hundreds of streams of income that go into my life every month. And you know why I have so many? It's because my business standards allow me to be this successful. So with that, I'm now gonna show you what this ultimate perfect side hustle looks like. All right, here we go. Let me set the stage for one of my favorite industries that is literally underneath everyone's nose. People don't even know how profitable this thing is. Check it out. This is a home, and y'all know that I like homes because I invest in real estate, but we're not talking about that today. Do you know what homes all share in common? The American dream. Most people wanna own their own castle in their kingdom, but home improvements and property upgrades can honestly get pretty overwhelming. And here's the question, what do you do when you have a home project, but you don't want to do it yourself? You hire a handyman to do the work for you. Let me ask you this, what do handymen share in common with each other? They suck at technology. Dude, it's like oil and water, they do not mix. They're super hands-on, they are not online savvy. By the way, contractors and handymen, they literally have some of the most lucrative jobs on the planet. But they're so clueless about the internet, they have no idea how to generate online leads that could take their business through the roof. So you ready? The perfect side hustle, designed especially for making crazy good money during recessions, is to become a home project broker. Literally right in your backyard where you live. And there are 6 figures to be made with very little time. This is the opportunity that I brought Trent. Here's what I'm literally showing you how to do in our final minutes together. We're bringing disruption to an industry that is ripe for it. You see, I can show you super easy ways to generate endless super cheap leads on all sorts of home projects. Bottom line, we're bringing leads to the home project space. Here's why this works. It's because of my younger brother, Nick. He's a trained up bona fide genius at generating super cheap leads. For years, he would sell millions of dollars worth of products for Amazon stores, Shopify, until he realized that he could transfer those skills to the service industry like home projects. You might be able to make $3 selling a shirt online, but you can make hundreds and thousands of dollars doing the same thing in home improvements. Basically, Nick hacked an endless supply of cheap leads for every sector in home improvements for things like this. These are actual screenshots for 3 online ads. Look in the top red circle. That shows that we created 34 leads for $4.59 for people who want to have someone clean their home for them. By the way, if you follow my system and pick up a house cleaning job a day, in 2 years, you could actually sell that business for over $1 million. Check out the middle one, deck leads, 89 leads for under $7. You can make over $1,000 per job just handing it off for someone else to do the work. And then on the bottom, you've got sod leads, right? Sod is people that just say, hey, I don't want to grow my grass. I just want someone to install instant grass. 90 cents a lead. And this is exactly what I gave Trent. And this is what he did in 30 days. By the way, here's an actual lead. This is actual language and image for our deck leads. You could literally take and run with this. You could broker out these projects and make an insane side income. But remember, I've got over 40 proven leads just like this. All right, back to Trent. I basically challenged Trent to see if he could make $8,000 in 30 days. I gave Trent the proven leads. I gave him 2 hours of training, some follow-up training. I answered his questions along the way. And this is what happened. Trent came to me on day 1 and confided in me his big problem. He might be losing his job. He was scared, he was nervous, and because he was a friend, that moment really sparked something inside of me. I knew that I really wanted to help my friend. I just needed to figure out how. So the next day I asked Trent to come over to my place. I took him for a ride up the mountain in my Can-Am, and I shared my idea. I explained that I would help him generate cheap leads for home projects and that he could basically broker them out. He agreed, and off we went. 30 days later, this is what his results look like. Now, mind you, I was nervous to give this to my friend. I didn't have systems, scripts, I had almost nothing, and I would have felt horrible if it didn't work. But you know what? We both dug in, and this is what happened. Along the top, you can see that in 30 days, he got more leads than he could work. He got 59 roofing leads. You can see that he got 7 Boulder retaining leads on the left. And on the left, you can also see underneath that he got 84 sod leads. Now, Trent was busy with his full-time job, but after learning how to text people and literally cut and paste messages, he started getting jobs booked. And you can see in 30 days that he made about $4,300 handing off roofing jobs. He made $1,300 booking retaining walls through someone, and he did over $10,000 gross revenue on sod. His total take-home profit at the end of the day, $9,132. By the way, on my YouTube channel, you can actually watch the 4-part series. You can actually join Trent on his journey. You can see his fear, his nervousness, what it felt like when he made the money, and just how much this has changed his life. Now, out of curiosity, I asked him how much more money he plans on still making from the other leads. And currently he's on track for a total of $26,844 by the 60-day mark. Dude, Trent is beyond ecstatic. And if you're watching this right now wondering how real this is, I'm about to show you what happened for other people that followed in his footsteps, but there is a description in the link below if you actually want to get more details on what it would look like to literally join up, get your hustle on, and actually start making some real money. For me, this really begs the question, is this a side hustle or is this a side empire? Because with roofing leads alone, Trent has a plan in the next 90 days for clearing $50,000 a month. And there's still all these other hustles. It's crazy. Well, listen, within 3 weeks, I saw Trent starting to kill it, making big money. So I decided to expand the test group, let more people in, because really I wanted to know, is this actually duplicatable or is this just luck? Like, is Trent something special or is this something that truly anyone could do? These are the results for my hustlers in their first 7 days. On the top left, you can see I made a post. I asked for what kind of success people are having. Patrick jumps out and he says, I currently sent contractors $80,000 worth of work. The first one is getting done this morning with a commission of $550. We've won another 3 more. I think by the end of next week, when they get collected, I will easily clear $3,000 in commissions paid to me. Heather Wright, she said, I've sold and received payments for 4 saw jobs. Total profit, $2,500. These jobs will be fulfilled by this weekend. Top right corner, this is J.C. Kin. He says, so I'm working full-time right now and hustling. Here are the photos of a saw job my contractor just sent. He says, $1,000 profit for me. You gotta know that for me, this is exciting, this is fulfilling, and frankly, I hope that in the next year, we see another $100 million goes in the pockets of good people like you who have the power to be in charge of your own financial destiny. This one comes from Kevin. He says, I just got my first saw job, 21,000 square foot gig. Guys, these guys are not contractors. They've never done this stuff before. After sod cost delivery fee, blah, 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 I've got $3,127 of margin. That's profit. Below that, we got Jose, 44 leads, 31 sod leads, 2 jobs closed so far. And in the top right, here are my results after 6 days. I have 2 jobs booked and a few that are still in conversations. This one's kind of fun. James basically tells us how many leads he got. He says he's got $49,000 in his pipeline. He's ready to close on $9,990. He's already invoiced and getting ready to collect $2,400. Like, this guy is well on his way, and literally we're talking about less than 7 days. Benjamin on the bottom closed 5 jobs with a ton more in the pipeline. And the bottom right, we got Tucker, who closed his first 2 jobs for tomorrow, and he's got $1,500 of profit on the way in. Listen, I've learned that this is highly duplicatable, but only if you can answer these 3 questions. Number 1, can you follow instructions? As in, I will walk you through with my brother Nick exactly what to do, but can you actually follow those instructions? Number 2, can you text people that respond to you about your service? Can you cut and paste the pre-approved responses? And number 3, can you follow my instructions on exactly how to find other people to do the work? Because by the way, if you try to do any of the work yourself, I will cut you off so fast. I do not want to work with you. This is all about reclaiming your time and having time and money. Now, by the way, if you answered yes to those 3 questions, this could actually be a perfect fit for you. So what do I call this thing? I call it 7-figure hustle. This is real, it works, it's duplicatable. If you want to learn more or if you want to join up, you can call 801-894-9416. You can click the link in the description below, or you can just go to kriskrohn.com/hustle. Thank you for joining. We are starting an entrepreneurial revolution, and it's about hustling and doing something on the side that can actually put you in control of your financial future. Not your boss, not your job, not the government, you. If you've dreamed about true freedom and you do not want to take years to get there, you need to check this out. If it's a fit, come and play. And if you like the video, do me a favor, smash the like button and stay tuned. I've got a video coming up next of Trent so you can watch his journey to making six figures. Take care.